Tight Ass Tuesday. We bring out your inner tight ass. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
We're live, but Instagram's not with us this morning. I can't get Instagram going, guys. So
Far out, Billy. Far out.
hope you're on Facebook or LinkedIn. Absolutely no problems.
Far out.
That
So,
was a
Billy,
spicy-
for some people who don't know, Billy's a bit of a tight ass. I enjoy watching how careful he is with his money. And for those of you that don't know, I've come up with a new word for me, which is a variation in tight ass. It's called value merchant.
Right. What does that mean?
Never pay retail.
Okay.
So if you've got someone that you know, a connection, a way to buy cheaper, buy bulk, I buy it overseas, I will find a way. I'm a value merchant.
Okay. And is this
So two tight asses on a Tuesday.
has this only just come about in the last couple of years, or always been like that?
Always.
Always. Look, there's no
I
better
don't-
feeling than getting
Yeah,
a discount.
I don't think you can. I think you are or you aren't. It's sort of like it's a light switch. It's on. Like you just are a tight ass, or you just like not that way.
Yeah, but I would challenge everyone to think that there's no better feeling than a good discount. Sometimes makes
It's true. Now today we're going to direct this towards property. Our observations of where people are tight asses, how they take advantage of being tight asses, and you know what? Times are tough. So I think at the moment a lot of us are evaluating what we're spending money on, what we're not spending money on, where we're investing, where we're not investing. It's just super critical at the moment, with interest rates sort of triple where they were sort of this time 2.5 years ago. So I think it's a real relevant topic. Where have you been a tight ass, Billy?
Well, look, there's certain places you can sort of cut back, and there's obviously areas you can't. And I mean that not just for practicality, but also for lifestyle, right? You can't start just eating tins of beans, although that's what my dad would tell me to do. You've got to obviously maintain some kind of a lifestyle, and we've seen Australians are working more hours to sustain the same lifestyle they've had before, and then they've obviously made cutbacks in other areas. But here's 8 property tips, and I have certainly implemented some of these myself. You've pretty much nailed the first one: negotiate everything. I think everything's on the table for negotiation. It's a free question.
Stay shy, stay dry. Stay shy, stay dry. You got to negotiate, otherwise you're paying rack rate.
It's a free question as well.
I love that.
Like,
It's so true.
let's look at the low-hanging fruit here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to just ask the question.
Yeah.
Number 2, DIY repairs. I've seen a few people get in the tool shed, and rather than getting a electrician in, to do all the work, they might be able to do a little bit of prep stuff, and then just get them in to do the bits they're really qualified for. Do it yourself.
That is a gun recommendation. For Tight Ass Tuesday today, reflecting on what you just said, I have always got a painter in when I've over the years, and I will paint with the painter. So what I'll do is he'll bring the brushes, he'll bring the rollers, he'll bring the trays, he'll bring the paint, discounted paint. He'll do the cutting in, the hard bit, the sweaty stuff, the stuff that gives him the shits.
Yeah.
And I'll just roll behind him. Much cheaper.
Much cheaper. Number 3, refinance your mortgage. This is such a good one. I actually did this myself. It saved me a couple $100 a month on the mortgage. And it literally was a phone call to the broker saying, I've seen rates move 13 times. I am aware that there's now, some competitiveness there where rates are hopefully going to come back down at some point. Can you make a call to the bank and see if they can sharpen it up a little, the mortgage rate? And they came back and they did. $200 a month.
Do you know what? It adds up. That's 2.5K a year. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Question. Just ask.
Yep.
Number 4.
Now, did you know you could do the same on your credit card?
No, I didn't.
You can ring up your credit card provider, tell them that you intend to move, and negotiate your rate to a sharper rate, because their rates creep like mortgage rates creep. So you'll be paying, your competitive rate when they onboard you, and then they creep that upwards, sometimes more than 5%.
Yeah, and I've heard from mortgage brokers, when tying back to your mortgage, the customers that have had the onboarding rate are actually at the sharpest
Customers
price. Customers that have been with the same broker and never checked, they're probably getting the worst. So don't underestimate loyalties there.
Yep.
They're all
try to pay within 55 days or whatever it is. Be conscious of the days that and make sure you're paying sharp, you're not loose. Otherwise, they'll whack you for those interest rates, like almost 20, more in excess of 20% these days. It's nuts. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Number 4, energy efficiency upgrades within your home.
Tight Ass Tuesday, yes.
Double glaze your windows.
Yes.
Get some solar on the roof.
Yes.
Even small things. Again, not sort of too big of expense, but just be conscious maybe what light bulbs you've got in. Can you change it to a smart bulb?
Yes. Even the things that will take the most amount of cost are things that generate heat. So stuff that's moving and stuff that is generating heat is going to use a shit ton more electricity than a light bulb, for instance. So if you've taken the effort of heating up a room and then someone leaves the door to the garden open for 5 minutes, it takes quite a lot to get the room back to that temperature. So Tight Ass Tuesdays, just be conscious of if you've heated your rooms, how can you keep that heat in there? Curtains, blinds help retain the heat in a room so it can't escape. Sealed windows. So if you do hear a draft coming through a window, that is competing with you heating the room. So it's coming in through the window, cooling down, and it's heating up from the heater, getting hotter. They're competing with each other. That competition's costing you money.
And I can just think of small ones, like if you've got kids, they're going to run out the door, leave the door open. Can you get something that closes the door, under a small 5-second window?
Spot on.
All right, you ready for my favorite one?
Yes, Tight Ass Tuesdays.
My favorite, house hacking. House hacking. What do I mean by house hacking? Find spaces within your house or within your apartment that you can rent out for money. And it doesn't have to be a room. It can be storage. It could be a garage. It could be a basement. There's so many little places that we don't monetize. You might be just able to get an extra $20 a week.
Wow, you know what? It's not silly. You'd be shocked, absolutely shocked how much people pay for storage nationwide. It is a frightening figure. I was talking to a Kennard storage guy on Saturday about their facility in Frenchs Forest. He told me they had over 600 storage units in that one building, and I was like, that's a lot. So, get it advertised on the marketplace, rent out stuff if you've got a garage spare or something like that.
Yeah, I had a client come into the office about 2 months ago now, said I'm going overseas. I've got a car space in DY that I won't be using. Do you think you've got any clients that might just want a real short-term let? Put him in touch with an older client who's sick of walking back and forth to his apartment trying to find parking, and he's just going to whack his spare car in there, saves him a couple of months of hassle. Happy
Stunning.
days. Happy
Love
days.
it. Love it.
There's a couple more. Buying in up-and-coming areas. I think that's an obvious one. Shopping around for insurance. Bit of an obvious one. But my second favorite, the one I'll leave you with today, it's tax time. It's tax time. Can you utilize your tax deductions better than this year? Get in touch with your accountant.
You know what's interesting, and I've loved my accountants. Got an excellent relationship with them, but part of my benefit is, or has always been, pushing my accountants. So I think if you expect your accountant to understand you, your life, and your deductions, they're very good at interpreting them. So you can say to them, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Can I claim this? No. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. Can I claim this? Maybe. So I reckon you've just got to be, like, it is tax time, and I think you've got to be conscious for your setup for tax on any potential deductions that you got. I don't care what industry you're from, you have deductions you can claim, and your accountant will not locate all of the deductions. They don't have the time, they don't have the IP or intel about you and your life. It's your duty to find those deductions and deduct them on an annual basis. You just think of it and tell your accountant. A little hack that I've always loved, guys, and it's ended up compounding to a stack of money, is I've always used an alternative method of payment if it's a tax deduction. So what I've done is I've paid, with cash, or I've paid on a credit card. And as soon as I think this is a deduction, I will pull out a separate credit card and I will pay on the separate credit card what I know is deductible. Then when I get to the end of the year, I don't have to think, this plus that, plus this, what about that? It's all on the one, it's centralized. All those tax deductible costs to one card. It is a frightening amount what it'll add up to in the course of a month.
I reckon that's gold. Mine's
Two tight asses. We can talk all Tuesday on this.
Mine's a little different. I think much to my accountant's hate, I've got a WhatsApp group with him, and if he ever needs a receipt, or I'm at the paying for my fuel, or just whack a photo of the receipt in the WhatsApp group. He doesn't ever have to read them, but end of year, they're all there.
Stunning. I love it. That is so smart. That is so smart.
There you go. I think that's the show.
Billy, have a great day. Everyone enjoy Tight Ass Tuesday. Get out there, guys, and be a tight ass today.
It'll put some money back in your pocket, and you don't need to work any harder. That's the best part.
Big time. Take care.
See ya.
See you, mate.